One. Well, everybody, got a special guest. I was just watching him on JC's channel, Beyond Mystic, and I've heard his story a couple times now about how sick he got and how he felt all of our prayers and woo-woo energy we were sending him. It was like, I think your initial video said it like if it's like someone grabbed the hand of death and like pulled it off you. And
I'm back from the dead, and I don't mean I was at a Grateful Dead concert. I was really, really sick, Snippy, man.
You were skinny, man. When you first showed up, I go, whoa, he lost some weight, man.
I went 2 weeks without looking at myself in the mirror. I was in bed for 2 weeks, and I had this horrid gray beard, and my wife came to the bed and put shaving cream on me and tried to shave me, and she missed the spot. My hair was growing out. My skin. Anyway, I got up and I happened to look at myself in the mirror, and it was like, oh man, that's bad. So I've been eating a lot of buttery foods and macadamia nuts and trying to put weight on. I'm still having a hard time exercising. So anyway,
I sent you an email back when you were initially saying, hey, Snippy, let's get together. And I replied, okay. And you said, give me a couple of days or something. But then somebody sent me an old video of you interviewing a sports guy with this machine that sends electrical current through their body to heal them. This is an old freaking
video. Yeah. That would have been 1992.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh my God, there's Allgire. And so there's one of these machines that I literally just went ahead and pulled the trigger. Was it today or yesterday? Today. It'll be here next week. It's gonna, unfortunately, I can't really advertise that I'm gonna be using it on people. Voodoo gave me a download about not doing that for like people. It'll cause me some problems, but for friends and family, you know, like, okay, yeah, kind of a thing, like close family and stuff. So anyways, this particular machine, it's got 2 probes, it's got a bunch of accessories. So this young guy, Max, had reached out to me. Joe, try this thing out. I'm over here in Spring Hill, Florida, and I'm not sure where you are, but if you can make it over here, we're not going to charge you anything. Try it out. You've been talking about this foot problem. And I'm like, yeah, I've tried 3 surgeries, and I mean, I've shots, you name it. I've been there and done it. Nothing can fix this damn foot of mine. And something was telling me, you need to entertain this idea. Like, go over there and try this out. So a week went by. I was just kind of feel it out. Just like, does it feel right? And I'm like, yeah, it's Sunday. Today's the day. So I went over there and tried this thing out, and like within a day or two, I was able to start wiggling the left 2 toes. I couldn't wiggle them, and this one was starting to wiggle, and I go, oh shit. And I go, no way. And I'm like, oh my God, it's moving again. Now I'm able to move my pinky a little bit too, and that was like the worst one. And long story short,
what was wrong with your toes and pinky?
So in kind of this area, like in between the 2 toes, not quite to the padding, but almost a little bit into the padding of the foot, but like in between, in the middle, I was just running on a treadmill back in 2009, just trying to get into shape. Yeah. Nothing crazy, but I didn't have running shoes. I was using Vans, like skateboard shoes and whatever. So I've been doing it for about a month or so. And then I was just walking to work the next day after I got in my car, just across the parking lot. I just took 1 step, and man, it felt like something just snapped in my foot, and like instant pain. It was horrible. I mean, if you even just barely did this, oh my God, like, oh my God, pain. And I had MRIs and x-rays and you name it. Oh, everything's there. Everything looks normal. I'm like, but it ain't. Like, this is, and I'd have these times where it would just kill me. Some days like, oh, I don't want to really move. I want to just kind of lay down or sit on the couch. It's going up my freaking leg into my butt, the pain. Anyways, I mean, I've tried everything, done that. And I'm over here, I've asked Spirit, I've prayed on it, give me something. I've seen church leaders and, lay hands on you. I've done it all. And Spirit, I'm asking Spirit not too long ago about this. Next few days later, this guy reaches out to me, and I'm going, okay, one of these frequency machines. Oh, okay. But then I went and did the damn thing, and it does send a little microcurrent through you. And if there's an issue there, you kind of feel the zap. And sometimes you have to tone it down a little bit because it's like, whoa, that's too much. But that lets you know there's a problem. Because if they would move it over, and I go, I don't feel anything. Move it over more. I don't feel anything. Put it back on that second to last toe. Oh yeah, I can feel it. Last toe. Yep, I can feel it. So I've got about, I think, 9 sessions in now. Usually 6 is plenty for most people for whatever problems they're having. But this thing, I'm telling you, is is fixing my foot for the first
That's
time in my
great.
life. And then
That's
someone
great.
sent me an old video of you interviewing somebody. I go, where the hell did you get that? So I'm like, that's not the machine, but that's the same technology, but newer.
Same idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like,
Speaking
oh
of,
my God.
yeah, speaking of microcurrents, so there I was laying near death and just horrid pain. And I could feel there were different groups and different types of healers like Reiki and a bunch of stuff. And they said, okay, everybody at a certain time. And at that time, they didn't tell me, I was out of it, but
yeah,
I started feeling shifts within me and energy. And I really did feel a bunch of sensations, and I felt it. The prayer did help.
that's amazing.
Many
Because
people praying for you.
When Woo Woo Dude was in the hospital with his I think they called it pneumonia, COVID pneumonia or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in bad shape too. Oh, kind of like you, he was in bad shape.
Yep,
And we did the same thing for him, and he didn't know it because he's at the hospital. I have no contact with him. And he's like, Joe, there was the night you're talking about. He's like, there was freaking like these little, I looked out my window, it was nighttime. And I'm like, what the hell's out my window? There's like all these little sparkly light things. He goes, what the hell is that? He goes, it was like this energy. He goes, but then I could just feel this like healing energy coming from this.
I saw those
the same thing
too. Yeah.
Did you?
I saw that. Now I remember. Wow. Okay. Well, it was good stuff. Do you want to hear the headline?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get to it. You've seen my remote viewing, so I can remote view. We just debriefed a project yesterday that I had worked for a week on. Edward Reardon did it, Daz Smith, and Naeem. And it turns out it was the Chicago Board of Trade, like the commodities trading.
Oh, yes.
At a future time, and I'm not going to tell you the time. I make people watch it, but we had this is like I call it a shit Helen session, and pardon me for using that word, but it's like the guy watching TV and he says, "Shit Helen, come look at this," or a grab the towels Helen, we're checking out. We got a pretty amazing target contact and data about like corn futures and how that's going to affect money and affect the whole planet. It's a good session, and it's coming out,
but not so much precious metals.
I don't think there was much precious. Well, yeah, actually, Naeem did have precious metal. There was so much data, and I've only saw it in passing. So the full thing is coming out. But what we did was, we've got this technical analyst, Marty Hibbs, who does charts for us.
Just watched the video on my way to eat just a minute ago.
He is totally into all that stuff. Like he worked in commodities for 30 years. And I gave him the raw debrief, and he just called me twice, like totally excited, saying, "You guys have got so much good data." Hang on one second. I'm still coughing from that thing. Sorry, I muted my mic. He said, "You guys have so much good data, I can interpret it for you." So we're going to have some really interesting times starting pretty soon based on that data. This is not financial advice. This is just entertainment, remote viewing. We don't give financial advice. But I bought some corn futures, and felt like a roller coaster ride is coming. Literally felt like a roller coaster.
Yeah, I did that, and I heard Marty talking about the latest video you did with him, where he was talking about actually I think corn futures and things, and he had mentioned metals. And he's talking about one of the charts. He's like, yeah, or Ethereum and stuff. He's like, yeah, it's looking like it could go down to maybe $500-$600. And I go, I had a dream a while ago, $408 Ethereum. They showed me the price right in my face, 20-cent XRP. And I go, now a technical guy that really knows what he's doing is calling for a very close price to what I basically got in a dream. So I was like, ooh. So I was wondering, I was asking about the commodities things because I also got a dream after that we're going to see single digit silver and hundreds of dollar gold coming.
Wow.
So I thought something's going to have to break. And I was wondering if maybe it was the commodity thing you were seeing possibly that might break it temporarily. The prices drop, then all of a sudden they skyrocket maybe to go to where, you know, where the real market kicks in. I don't know. I wasn't shown how it was going to look.
I
was
just
shocked
did
by that.
I just did a segment that I put on YouTube early today, or a couple hours ago, Wednesday evening in your time zone, where I referred to like peak financial insanity. We're just going to see, it's just going to be nonsensical, I think. And we also did a segment. I talked about this on JC's, but I'll talk a little bit with you. What I'm being told is the U.S. became insolvent. The U.S. was bankrupt in 1999. And the people who run things knew that at that time. And they had planned for this new system that's going to be blockchain, distributed ledger, digital ID, and that whole system, but it wasn't ready to roll out. And they realized they needed about 20 more years. Like, this isn't going to be ready until 2020 at the earliest. And they had a thing called ID 2020, and they were planning for 2020. They didn't meet the benchmarks. So they've just been keeping it afloat. It's bankrupt, it's gone, there's nothing behind it. And they're just printing, they're just doing it on computers for the past 22 years, 23 years now. But we are about to see it change. You can feel it, can't you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, it's going to change. Again, blockchain is the system. That's where it's going to go. And I kind of argue with Cliff High behind the scenes on Telegram in a little channel that me and him and JC are in. You know, he's like, it's not, when the banks go down, XRP's over, it's done. I'm going, man, I don't think so. I said, but you know, again, my dreams have been incredibly accurate with this kind of stuff and other things. But I'm like, I don't see them telling me to panic into XRP in this dream. I'm panicking into XRP. I've got to buy it. I got to get a shit ton of it right now. It's super cheap. It's 20 cents. I'm about to wipe my bank account out trying to buy some, you know, like as much as I could. And I'm going, my guides wouldn't share that with me if this thing's going to crap on us. I don't think, you know.
XRP dates back to the Fugger family, which is an old banking family from the time of the de Medici, I mean, old Venetian. And these people have been running the world, and they're going to continue to run the world. It's the people say, oh, the bankers, like we're going to get rid of the bad bankers, as if the bad bankers are the top of the pyramid. Right. You'll never see the top of the pyramid. They're high up on the pyramid, but it's behind that. Are you familiar with ISO 222? Yeah, I just did a segment on that today. So the SWIFT banking system is created by the God, who was it? I just did it. I need to look this up. My brain is still foggy from the thing I had. There's something called the where is it? I'm sorry, hang on. The International Organization for Standardization, the ISO, that was created in 1947. And it was originally for mechanical engineering, but it evolved into information technology in the banking system. It's headquartered in Geneva, and ISO is ISOS, which is it goes back to Greek times, the term for equity. And they put out a statement saying, "Oh, that's just a coincidence. We didn't mean that." Of course they did. But it's like these old secret organizations with family ties have been running the world forever, and they're going to continue to run it. They planned this whole thing. They've got the whole blockchain, you know, decades ago.
Yep, and there's no sign of it slowing up or being stopped. That's for sure. Because again, the old system is, like you said, it's bankrupt. So that whole thing's going to implode spectacularly when it's time. And then they just flick the switch, so to speak. Okay, you know, we're going over here and everything's gonna be tracked and there's no way around it.
Yeah.
But in the
And they're
meantime, we can make some money and take care of ourselves and get out of debt, whatever. Like it's happening
exactly
anyways. You know what I mean? Take advantage.
right there. You and I are on the same page. Is that it's a system. It's being changed. We really have no significant influence over it. So the best we can do is learn about how the system works and navigate within it and get the cryptos, get some gold, keep some cash on hand, have some food.
Yep.
All good advice. So, yeah. Anyway, this, let me do the little plug. My YouTube channel got taken down. Do you know, Snippy, that you are one of the people most responsible for the formation of crypto viewing? Because when certain people came to me and said, you could remote view things and people would pay money to see your reports. And I went, do you think so? I don't know if I could do enough. They said, no, we could do something with like cryptos, learn about that. So I did. And when we were ready to launch, they said, do you know who JSnip is? You need to go on his segment. So they did an introduction. You interviewed me and got the first subscribers to my original YouTube channel.
Yeah, I remember that. And it was Cliff, actually Cliff Hyde mentioned, you should reach out to this guy, Dick, you know, and we remember we talked about Theta for the first time.
Yeah.
Getting that coin Theta, and you were talking about Theta brainwave or Theta state of mind. And I go, speaking of Theta, I go, I gotta tell you something at the end of this video, you know, and
you sent me a bunch of Theta. You sent me
I forgot at first how much it was.
I said, how much? Yeah, it was quite a bit. And I said, let me pay you for it. And you said, no, I can't. No, there can't be money involved. So, all right, thanks for the gift. Put it away. And last November, it was worth quite a lot. I didn't sell any of my Theta. I did not take any profits. I didn't listen.
I did.
My ice cream melted.
I did take some profits in the beginning of the year because I'm like, okay, right now I promised my wife the second time, when it gets to this price right here, I have enough sitting on a side that it's for the house. I'll pay the house off, and then I'll still have like at least half my bag left over. So that price hit, and it was climbing higher. And I go, oh my gosh, it's even pretty good higher. And I go, I'll do it. So I paid it off, and then kind of sat on the rest of it, and then watched it hit $8, $15, dollars. I think it touched 16. I'm going, holy crap! I ended up doing a video. I'm like, I just want to know if you guys are willing to admit this on YouTube. You know, it's public. I said, but
you're a millionaire. I saw that one.
And I was just scrolling. I'm almost there. Not quite almost, but I'm doing pretty good. I'm going, holy shit, man. There's a lot of you out there that you'd be able to pay off your debt, you know? So again, everybody watched their ice cream out, and, gosh, 25's next, 50 next, 100's coming. And it's like, man, these things just go in waves. They clean everybody out. It goes back up. And if you notice, when it goes up, it peaks pretty quick, and then the party's over, and it's just you've
got to have your orders in. Yeah. Well, crypto viewing, we have made over 100 millionaires mostly in the down market. Then it had that big run up. So Theta, it's going to go back. I'm thinking, and I haven't talked to you about this, they're going to run it up one more time before regulations, don't you think? We'll have one more big run up.
The interesting thing is, I just got a dream a few days ago, and my initial thinking before I got the dream was, I'm sitting on my hodl bag of Theta that was like left over from the house. Like, don't touch it, just stake it. That's your nest egg forever. Don't mess with it. But I'm going, I've seen this too much. I'm getting freaking dreams about stuff. I needed to use that. Like, I need to play this game some more with that bag. And I go, you know what? I know it's going way lower. I know it's going to go lower. So I think I want to just unstake. 2 or 3 days later, I'll get it. And what are the prices? I'm just going to sell it. So I unstake it. The next day I get a dream, and they're like, basically telling me, not so fast, just wait a little bit. It's going to go up. Not huge. Actually, just, a small, nice run up. And they're saying, sell then. So I go, okay. So then I literally just got another coin this morning, and they just said, buy this coin. They didn't say that when to sell it or what price. They said, buy this coin. and I'll tell you after this, but after we record about those two. But my thought was we're gonna have a little mini rally, sell off,
then down.
May hit a real big down one where I saw the 20-cent XRP, 408 Ethereum, all that crap.
Yeah.
And then we rock it up real good, like maybe what you're talking about, like holy crap, nice rally. And then maybe the regulation kicks in and all that crap, and then okay, down we go again. But there'll be that time to, again, for all the people listening, for God's sakes, for you to lick your ice cream and take some freaking profits when that happens.
But you've got to have your buy and sell orders in. You can't react. That was my problem in November. Is like our analyst Marty said last August, he goes, Dick, we got 8 weeks of upside. We are cooking, man. He goes, I don't see this slowing down for 8 weeks. And he was right. It went up for 8 weeks. I think September, October.
I think that's when Bitcoin hit the high too, I think.
Yeah.
On that one.
And I was thinking, all right, I was getting some banking stuff set up, and I was thinking, we were thinking 80 to 100,000. I was thinking, I'm going to get out in the 70s. I'm going to take some profit when Bitcoin hit 70, and then and it hit 68. And then Marty said, Dick, I have a 5-point reverse wave. It's looking, we're trouble ahead. Then we fell off the cliff at 50, and it was like, what happened? Wow, that was quick. So you got to have your sell orders in one night. It'll trigger, and you'll wake up.
That's right.
Your broker will say, the money's in the bank. What do you want to do with it? So
yeah. Or if you're using exchange, same thing, just do your limit orders with stablecoin, and do that. Because the thing is, you've seen this, like the rest of us, you try to get on and all that action's happening. Oh, everything's pumping or even dumping. And everyone's trying to get on and buy or sell or do something, and then can't log in, network error, you go to execute the trade. Sorry, didn't execute. Try again. Like, oh my God. If your orders are already on that exchange and they've been sitting there, it's all automated. It's going to freaking trigger if that number gets hit, and you don't have to worry. Like you said, you just wake up in the morning, go, holy shit, 4 o'clock in the morning, my order filled, the big giant wick went down, and then it came back up, but my order filled, I got it, done. Now I just wait.
Well, I'm putting a buy order in. I'm going to buy some Bitcoin at, I don't know, 15, maybe I'll say 17,000. If I can get a Bitcoin for 17,000,
I think it's going to, I'd gamble a little more. I think I haven't gotten any prices.
You're going a little lower than that.
Because I'm looking at things and I just keep going, okay, if this is where this is at right now, and that coin's at this right now, and XRP's at 31 right now, if I just generally scooped, or they were in a straight line and like they're all tied to the hip, okay, well, how far down does XRP have to go? If right now Bitcoin's 19K, but XRP is 31 and it's going to 20, in my mind, we're talking maybe a 40% drop or 35-40% drop. So what would that be on Bitcoin right now at 19K? Oh, it's like, oh, we could see 12-13K.
Yeah, a couple of people that I am associated with, I think they have orders in at like 12, and I'm telling them, oh no, man, don't tell me it's going to 12. But if you could imagine, if you could get a Bitcoin for 12,000, imagine if you could get
and tell them about your vision when you were almost, dying in the hospital about Bitcoin.
Okay. The vision I had was, I'm here, and there were things in front of me like hurdles, like these black boulders that I had to get past, and they were famine, pestilence, economic collapse, riots, loss of faith, just bad thing after bad thing. And then in the distance, I saw 280,000. I saw the number, and I saw I said, that's what Bitcoin is, and I have some. So I didn't know what the time frame on that was, but on the other side of the boulders, stuff that we're going to start going through.
And you're starting to see some of it now. I mean, there are riots happening. They overthrew the palace in Sri Lanka. There was another one I just saw today. I mean, it wasn't the farmers.
The Dutch are getting little.
I think they're fighting with police officers or something. It's just, I mean, we're getting there. We're getting close.
We saw that. That was some of the imagery that I had in the Chicago Mercantile. Here's a page from my stuff. I said, now the looting starts. So the Chicago Mercantile, I'll give the plug, patreon.com/crypto viewing. It'll be on Friday. And then we're also going to do an analysis with Marty. And please, folks, go to my YouTube channel. It used to be Crypto Viewing, all one word, and they took down 600 videos, 5 million views, gone. So it's now Crypto Viewing. To maybe you'll put up a link for me.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
Crypto Viewing. So yeah, it's going to be difficult times that are going to test us. But I think people that listen to you and our subscribers are going to be better positioned. I mean, I think some of us are meant to see it through, and we'll do all right with cryptos and some precious metals.
Now, does something happen at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, or you just happen to see that it's big prices are coming? Like, is there something
wild stuff? Actually, I had it. What I drew was, I said, this is like the New York Stock Exchange and it's closed. There's no computers on. So I had it being closed. Edward Reardon saw grain silos on fire. We had people with wheelbarrows full of money. It was like all kinds of chaos. And
that's not necessarily America. It's just somewhere in the world, maybe.
Well, the target was the target was the commodities exchange, and then what the effect will be on people that are involved with it. And I also I showed this one on Bix's. I should have done a screen share. Was these guys in this meeting, and they're just going crazy.
Oh yeah, the golden parachute. Where's the golden
parachute? I also drew $100 bill. I kept seeing this face. I go, that's not a real person. That's a picture. And I think it was like the Forex is done. They do money mark. They trade money on the Chicago. Yeah. So we saw all kind of just wild swings. It's going to be crazy, up and down, and maybe closures. And the whole report is coming out. It's some of our best remote viewing. When our analysts,
when's that coming out?
Friday.
Oh, this Friday.
Friday morning.
Yeah, I think I was poking around today. I'm looking for it. I thought he said it'd be the next day or two, but maybe I don't know if that was something else.
The one that we just put up, we put up one on the crop circle that we remote viewed a crop circle, and then we put up one called.
I watched that one. Yeah, the crop.
The bankruptcy of the whole planet.
Yeah.
The planet is bankrupt. This whole system, you're going to lose faith in everything. Politicians, religion, finance, medicine. I was told that years ago, and by a very wise person that's been telling me how the world works. So think about it. Most people don't trust medicine anymore. And we don't want to get into this too much on YouTube, but just in the general sense, you know what I'm talking about, things they say about medical things.
And that's recent. That's a recent thing. And that's a big thing for people not to trust that.
And financial, people don't trust. Have you done any significant business with any banks lately, like tried to wire money or tried to go in and open accounts and things? They just don't. I do some wire transfers.
Somebody had just told me something that it had to do with them trying to buy a house, and they wanted so much.
They don't want to.
They sold it to someone else by the time this person could even.
We used to do wire transfers, and we're longtime customers with this bank, and they would be like, "Here, at your service, come sit down." And now it's like, "Sit down." Well, we don't have anybody now, and like, my wife needed to use the ladies' room, and we can't let you. You know, she had to come home, and they said, "Do you know who you're wiring to?" "Yes, this is a business. We've done 15 of these wires." And they said, "No, we don't like it, so we're not going to do it for you." And I had to call the management. They're letting people go. They just don't offer this. they know that the banking system is going away. It's going to this new system. So banking, religion, we're losing, you're hearing all this bad stuff. Pope's probably going to resign.
Yep. Yeah, there's some
military.
gematria that's calling for that. And I don't know if it was Penny or somebody had said looked like maybe August or September, I forget, that he may be out of the way. And same with Biden, like there might be a bye Biden scenario coming. And
Well, they're setting that up. Even the Democrats have turned on him. The stuff that's come out about his son.
oh yeah,
I know
I've watched
someone
the
that
recent
saw
ones.
that on the dark net some time ago and said it's just awful. The really bad stuff.
Yeah, there's the bad stuff is like, which I haven't seen, but there's some really bad stuff.
Yeah, we don't want to get too much into that, but it's really bad. Bad stuff you don't even want to talk about. So everything's gonna implode, and this new system of you're gonna have a digital identity, you're gonna have everything recorded on the blockchain, the Internet of Things. The wild card that I'm researching, I don't understand the rollout yet, is CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. Like, how are they going to try to bring those out before regulation? Like, what's the timetable? There's so many moving parts that have to, regulation, central bank digital currencies, another run up in cryptos. The dollar is just nuts how it's strong against all the other currencies. Precious metals, like how can gold, with this inflation, how can gold be like 17?
It dropped. 18? Yeah, I know. And again, I saw single digits coming for silver and hundreds for gold. I woke up going, what the did I just see? I go, in what world could that even happen? I'm going, the opposite should happen as we progress with what's going on right now. But I go, well, it's all paper controlled. It's all this phony nonsense. And if they destroy the system, they'll smack it down one final time as it implodes. And then all of a sudden, maybe the real price discovery happens. And that's when it becomes unobtainium.
Remember that day that oil went to -40?
Yeah, I do remember that.
You had to pay someone $40 to take a barrel of oil from you.
Yeah.
So.
Well, exactly. That's the kind of thing that's probably going to happen with gold and silver. But see how fast that happened, and then it quickly, went back and recovered. So I think the same thing's probably going to happen. You'll just see this quick little, what the hell just happened, and I'm curious to see what the premiums are going to be, on gold and silver when it happens. Will they be able to react fast enough? Or if I'm the coin dealer, am I even going to say, you know what, I'm not selling today. Stores closed and. Until we just see what the hell happened, because I'm not selling all the shit that I bought at $20 or higher now for $6. It ain't happening. I'm not taking a loss. I'm not selling it, And so the paper will say, oh, it's $6, $7, $8, $9, $10, fluctuating or whatever. So let's say silver. And then you try to go get it and no one wants to sell to you because they're like, well, I'm not taking that loss, or I'll sell it back to you for the $30 premium, even though that says that. You're like, well, yeah, but that's the price, and we'll go somewhere else. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Go in the COMEX and demand delivery for a 5,000 ounce silver contract, and they tell you, well, that just blew up. We'll give you your money back.
Yeah.
I don't want the money. I want the effing silver, gold. Well, we don't have it. Here's your money back. Well, you said $6. I can't buy it anywhere. Well, sorry.
Yeah.
That's probably
it's
how
just paper. We'll sell you a piece of paper. When do you see cryptos rebounding? That's the big question.
Yeah. I'd like to just throw a dart. I just don't even know. And I just wait for the dreams, because that, for me, that has just become one hell of a highly accurate source of information to me.
That's good.
That's just, I've never had anything like this in my life. Oh,
there's a greater consciousness in your subconscious is able to tap in that dream state.
But I wish I could just go like you and go, okay, let me just sit here, put my pencil right here and just close my eyes for 1, 2. Oh, I just got all this shit I just saw, and doing remote viewing. And but I have to go to bed to get my stuff. That's my sweet spot. I can't do it. Although I have had a couple of visions, wide awake, eyes closed, but wide awake. And a movie played right behind my eyelid.
Yeah.
And they were actually showing me a damn site to a treasure in New Mexico. They were literally showing me like almost X marks the spot. And I go, holy shit, they just showed me this. I found it on Google Earth. I go, I know where that is. And I haven't been back, but I'd like to, again, I'm like, oh, I got to get back out there and go search for some shit.
Someday. Yeah. Take your drone. Well, whatever is happening is going to be really interesting, and we're going to be glad we have cryptos. So
yeah. And speaking of which, everybody, he remote viewed a treasure site, like a area, and had this story about this Indian man that had a limp, and a guy that was like 50% bloodline of like royalty. He's got a limp too. He's got coordinates. He's got a map. He's got this gold, like size of an iPad, this gold thing. It's got inscription. It's got like a coat of arms. It's super, super one of a kind rare. And I see him wrapping it in like a cloth, and then they wrap that in a leather thing, and they're hiding it. And I see rocks being placed, and this interesting little thing viewing. And then at the very last slide, it's got a guy with a sun hat on, and it's me, and it's like buzzing, whirring drone. Oh, J Snip, don't lose that drone.
don't lose your
out.
drone. Yeah.
I lost the son of a bitch my last trip out there a few months ago.
Oh no.
I lost. It was a little cheap one. It was one of my cheapest ones that I had. Thank God. And the battery was getting low, and I'm like, oh no, I got plenty of time. And then it got to 10%, and it was like, F you. I'm not even gonna let you. I couldn't even hit cancel. Like, it's like, no, I'm landing. And it's on this top cliffside top thing. You can't get to there anyway, unless you had a helicopter or another drone. But it's such a cheap, it cost me $350 to replace the drone by itself. So it's like,
Well,
I'm not.
I did one once where it was running out, and it took control, and it was going to land on a beach where there were people. And I was like, you don't want that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've all got drones.
That's why they do that. That's why they're like at 10%, so it doesn't fall on someone's freaking head.
Yeah,
it'll land. And if it lands on someone, that's one thing, but at least it's slow. And that's the whole premise, I guess, that once it's down to 10%, you're at, sorry about your luck, we're landing, and you look out. And it happened to be right as I found these two like little kind of openings up there that looked like they were kind of pack ratted with debris. Mm-hmm. And I go, oh, what's that? Like, that's interesting. I'm going, okay. Be one of the things when I get the helicopter over there, like maybe I could land and like try to go over there, but it really piqued my interest. So I go, all right, time to get back. You're going to, lose the drone. And sure enough, as soon as I thought that and turned it around, it's coming towards me. It stops, backs up a little bit, it lands and flips over. And I'm watching it live stream, like, shit, there goes that. And a little bit of footage I had, but it's all good. It was cool that you got that, man.
I had mine out on a boat once in big swells, trying to see if I could get a end of a sailboat race, a race from Los Angeles to Honolulu. And something went wrong with my software, and the drone I couldn't control it. And it says it's going to land now, but it took off from a boat, and we were, the ocean took us to a different place. And I barely got it back. Yeah. Drone stories.
And one more thing I want to ask you, if you still remember this. When I first went out to New Mexico, you were like, oh, I was doing an SVR5 session this weekend, and I see Joe out in the mountain, the sun hat, and there's this evil, not evil, but it was like a shaman Indian. He's pissed off. He's but then after that, they officially gave you guys, mainly you, a session to go to work, like on that. And then you came up with some more information and stuff. But you had told me, and I'm not sure which session it was. Was it the first one or the second one when you actually got an ID? You're like, Joe, I saw that thing again, that spirit, and he's fucking pissed off. And I'm telling you, this guy's serious. And a curtain rod flew off the wall or something, you told me.
Oh yeah, I was doing a session I have this Hawaiian healer that does lomi massage on me. And I tell her, hey, I need to remote view. So I'm like face down and thing, and she's doing like Reiki and all this healing work on me. And she can put me out into the state where I like was seeing you and this entity. All of a sudden there was this horrid crash, like, whoa, and we both jumped, and the curtain rod just flew off the wall and clattered down. So, yeah. Oh,
yeah. I'm trying to work on that. I've been working on him a little bit to like, look, I'm your friend, and I want to help the Indians, and I'm not,
There's some very spooky energy associated with that. Treasure.
Yeah, you warned me every time that something came up. You were like, "This is very serious. Like, this is not a joke. Yeah. This is real."
There's like a generational curse or something. Also, I think it's owned by someone who might want it back. So,
Yeah. And I've
All right.
got at least 2 dreams that warned me to stay the F away because it is serious. So
I gotta run. I gotta go make some food. Yeah, crypto, patreon.com/crypto viewing on Friday morning. Go look at that. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange near future. Whew, we're in for some shit, man.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Dick, anytime we'll do it again in the future.
Yeah. We need to get together and play some music too.
Yeah.
We have so much fun at the.
It was fun, but if we do it, we'll have to rent a drum set because I then sold mine. It was taking too much space in the room. My electronic kit. I just, you know what, get out of here. I got so much other shit going on in my life and learn how to fly a helicopter and all this shit. I just,
you were the first time we played, you were playing a box and it sounded great.
Yeah, Bix's thing. It was a nice little drum box. And then I think that one guy, somebody brought a drum set at the next one. Where me, you, and Bix, the guy had a saxophone. Remember that guy?
That guy with the saxophone, I forget his name. I know.
Really good.
He was really good. He was.
And we had like no time to rehearse. It was like, oh, shit, let's go. So we're like playing and we just made it work. It worked out.
Yeah. That was good fun. Las Vegas, man. We got to get together for another
something. Yeah.
Session. All right. So you didn't sell your Theta yet?
Not yet, but I'll end this video, the recording part of it, and then I'll tell you just something else real quick.